Hey folks, this is Kerry. I've had to make this argument at least 3 times today on Facebook. So instead of repeatedly posting this stuff, I figured I'd just make one video. So it's about climate change and global warming and about carbon dioxide and how it affects that. So here's my argument on Facebook, and I'll take you through it. This chart here, this one here, so this is actually from the EPA. This is their chart of greenhouse gases, and you see the biggest part there, carbon dioxide, 65%, and then the next area there where it's 11%, that's also carbon dioxide, but that's through more natural causes, forestry and other land use, where the 65% is fossil fuel and industrial processes. So that's the part that they can blame on humans. But in total, 65 plus 11, so that's 76% of greenhouse gases is carbon dioxide, is what they want you to think. But actually, this is the truth here. The other chart purposely totally left water vapor off of the chart in order to make CO2 look worse. So in this chart they include water vapor, which is the major greenhouse gas, at 96.9%, and then CO2 comes in at 1.9%, along with methane at 0.6, CFCs at 0.4, and nitrous oxide at 0.2. So carbon dioxide is actually only 1.9% of greenhouse gases. The composition of the atmosphere, the pie chart here on the left, as we all know, it's 78% nitrogen. Nitrogen is an inert gas. Means it doesn't react with anything, so it causes no harm. And then 21% oxygen, and then 0.9% argon, and then 0.1% trace elements. The pie chart on the right in the red there, those are the trace gases. Of that 0.1% of the atmospheric composition, carbon dioxide makes up 93.5% of the 0.1%. And then you got the other gases in there, neon, helium, methane at 0.4, nitrous oxide at 0.07% of the trace gases. So of the trace gases, carbon dioxide makes up 93% out of the 0.1% of the trace gases in the atmosphere, which is made of 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 0.1% trace gases. So wow, they've made such a big deal out of carbon dioxide and it changing the climate. You can see that it's less than a percent, way less than a percent of the atmosphere, where the biggest part of the makeup of the greenhouse gases is actually water vapor. Carbon dioxide is less than 2%. So why would they want you to believe that this is the case? The carbon dioxide makes up 70%, 76% of the greenhouse gases. Why would they want you to believe this? I mean, this is from EPA.gov, the Environmental Protection Agency. Why would they want you to believe this? The answer, it's an agenda. And that agenda has a name now. It's Agenda 21.
At its core, Agenda 21 is about control. Control of the land, natural resources, and entire populations. It seeks to control the air by regulation of carbon emissions, the ground by sustainable development, and the sea through environmental regulations. Officially stated, Agenda 21 is a comprehensive plan of action to be taken globally, nationally, and locally by organizations of the United Nations system, governments, and major groups in every area in which human impacts on the environment. Because being human will always have an impact on the environment, Agenda 21 paves the way for extraordinary UN control. When you boil it down, there are 9 basic tenets of Agenda 21. Move citizens off private land and into urban housing. Create vast wilderness spaces inhabited by large carnivores. Eliminate cars and create walkable cities. Support chosen private businesses with public funds for sustainable development. Make policy decisions that favor the greater good over individuals. Drastically reduce the use of power, water, and anything else that creates carbon pollution. Use bureaucracies to make sweeping decisions outside of democratic processes. Increase taxes, fees, and regulations. And finally, implement policies meant to incentivize a reduced population.
This equation has 4 factors.
Okay, so I guess I won't show you the whole video. It'll take up a lot of time and plus probably a copyright. Yeah, check out that video, and there's a couple of other videos. This one here. This, well, dang commercial. This is Grindel61. His username.
Is the UN Wildlands Biodiversity Map. That is a UN plan. That is their vision of America. The red, you are not allowed to go into the red. It's called the corridors. That's for the animals. They actually say this.
So that's Grindel61. Grindall 61.
Today is May 6, 2015. I am going to prove to you that what I said in that meeting was correct. I have a newspaper article right here that is about the red section of the UN Wildlands Map, which is the U.S. map you just saw. So this article you're looking at is from the San Gabriel Valley Tribune. It is from April 30th, 2015, and this article exclusively talks about the red portions of that map. So here it is. Wildlife. Proposal would add corridors to allow animals to make their way safely across the freeways. That's right. The red parts on the map are specifically for the animals, and as you can see, there is far more red on the map than really of any other color. So that means our wacko government environmental religion that is running our lives is going to tell us that animals get more land than the people. Because this is what Agenda 21 actually is. It is about fencing off everything from people, protecting the land from the people, and shoving everyone into high-density buildings where you are trapped where you live.
On the 1% of the land, is that what you said, 1%? It's going to house them all together there, and they're going to love doing it because you're going to have a coffee shop in every corner, and you're going to have, all of everything they need self-contained in these little urban villages, which are absolutely essential because traffic congestion will stop them from ever leaving their village. We see it today already. It's very hard to get our dean to come out of Santa Monica. He's sort of trapped on the other side of the 405.
All these wacko environmental groups who are pushing this, who believe the land needs to be protected from us, they don't realize that they're not exempt from this. The land will be protected from them as well, and they will...
So I'm going to show you another clip from Grindel61, but first I pulled this up for you just to show you that this really does exist. Agenda 21. So this is actually their PDF. This is the program that was devised at the meeting in Rio de Janeiro in 1992. And so a little bit of an overview. I mean, you may hear a lot of conspiracy theories about this. And, you know, the conspiracy theories, they've been going on since, 1992 and even before. But today, it seems to be ramping up more quickly that some of this stuff that, everybody thought, these conspiracy theory type people were crazy, saying that, all this stuff that they're saying about taking over the world and stuff, that it's actually coming true now. And so they're using the idea of climate change as an excuse to, you may hear the term land grabbing. And so the government is going in and telling people, hey, you can't use this land in this way, so we're going to take this land away from you. There's been cases, with the ranchers in Texas, in South Texas, and along the Red River Valley, the border of Texas and Oklahoma, where they're saying, oh, well, this land next to the river doesn't actually belong to you anymore. We have to take it away from you so that we can control it better, to keep you from harming it in some way by letting your cattle graze on it or whatever. And then this is, the situation in Oregon with the Bundys and everything. That's what this is all about. The BLM, the Bureau of Land Management, is coming in and telling people that they can't use this land, or they're taking land away from them, saying that they can't use it, or they're going in and buying up land. There's a case in Colorado where they conned these two veterans into selling $20 million worth of land for only $2 million so that they can go in because it has lots of minerals. And there's something going on right now with uranium. They're trying to get this land so that they can go in and mine uranium. But it's the government taking control of this land. And there's something I've seen that where it says that the United States government isn't actually allowed to own land. In the cases of parks and stuff like that, it can manage land, but it's not supposed to own land. But it's going in and taking land away from people. They're driving people off of their property so that they can come in and take the land. And so here's a little bit more. Grindle 61 here is talking about something that's going on in the Los Angeles area where they're increasing this land area that they're going to be managing.
Of option D. So here's the map right here, and as you can see, these dotted lines, this is the area they want to protect from you. This is the whole 300,000 acres right here, and look at this. We have some areas inside the protected area that are not going to be protected, and as you can see, we have Burbank and Northridge, which is some big city type areas. And this is the proof right here that people are going to literally be trapped in these cities. It's right here in the newspaper. They're putting it right in your face that if you live right here, you're going to be surrounded by parks and wildlife. If you live here, the same. If you live here, and how are you ever going to get from here to here or from here to here? Because they have told us that you will be trapped where you live.
On the 1% of the land, is that what you said, 1%? It's going to house them all together there, and they're going to love doing it because you're going to have a coffee shop on every corner, and you're going to have, all of everything they need self-contained in these little urban villages, which are absolutely essential because traffic congestion will stop them from ever leaving their village. We see it today already. It's very hard to get our dean to come out of Santa Monica. He's sort of trapped on the other side of the 405.
This right here is the entire ball game. I don't know how to make this any more clear than by showing you this map and by showing you that clip. This right here is Santa Monica, and where they were located in that lecture was over here in downtown Los Angeles, and he said that he's trapped on the other side of the 405, which is right here. So because that person lives right here on this side of the 405, he can hardly ever make it out to here because he is trapped where he lives. And
so this is check out my other video that I made about it's called Agenda 21 in Hawaii, about the land that is being taken on the east side of the island of Oahu for the Trust for Public Land. They're a partner in the Agenda 21. They're buying up land, setting it aside so that you cannot use it. They are protecting the land from you. And they're doing this all over until eventually they're going to move everybody into the cities, and all the rural land is going to be taken up by them and controlled by them, and you're not going to be able to go there. And so that's part of this Agenda 21. Check out the Trust for Public Land and my other video, Agenda 21 in Hawaii.